I'll run over you.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll run over who?
No, you won't.
I will get you in as soon as I can, alright?
Do not threaten to run over the members of the public.
We're at your face.
Come on then, let's see it then, let's see it.
Where's that bread going to?
Yeah, yeah. All that, did you see all that bread in the skip?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where's it going to? Like you said, it should be going to homeless.
Yeah, yeah. Or even some sort of animal sanctuary place and feed the animals with it. Don't just send it here. But we'll just try and find, try and uncover stuff, you know. Try and find some corruption. There's definitely some corruption here. Some backhanders going on, isn't there? Yeah. Even the Environment Agency, why are they not stepping in before now?
It's well, where's George? Where's George Eustace, Environment Secretary? He's never said one word about this place.
Yeah.
One word, the Environment Secretary.
Do you know every time you guys report this issue, you got a phone number, haven't you, that you report it?
Yeah.
Well, somebody said, I think it was 90% of UK-wide calls, nationwide calls, was about this place in the last 24 hours.
The smell has been horrendous. You can't just smell it, you can actually taste it.
Yeah.
When it first hit in 2020, it was a whole of Newcastle-under-Lyme in one day.
Yeah.
Why? I understand there's a gypsum problem, which is rotten egg smell, but the smell overnight just changed to like a fresh rubbish smell, like getting it out of the bin. So why did the smell change just like that?
Yeah.
No one's ever told us that.
And how do they still dare do things wrong when the spotlight's on them? It's like they're not bothered.
It's an arrogance.
Yeah, it's like they're arrogant.
I mean, I'm too important to follow the rules.
It's like they know they're in someone's pocket so deep they can get away with anything.
Well, it's like I said, it's got corruption in their faces.
Yeah.
You can see what's happening, and then they wonder why we get angry.
They're rubbing their nose in it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say, I don't want to swear, but you're in the face and shit.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's totally wrong.
It's like nobody is actually regulating it. No one's policing it.
Right, this was a quarry. Right, when the quarry, it has it's sealed rubbish in, so the leaching can escape. This isn't a quarry anymore. This is a mountain.
Yeah.
Why is this mountain here?
It's called landfill,
Yeah.
not land.
That's right.
Land mountain.
They filmed it, haven't they? I mean, there's a bit more than that going on.
Yeah.
This past planning permission. Somebody wanted this here. Why? Why did they want this here?
And how did a new housing estate get planning permission that close? Crazy, isn't it?
And I wonder what ventilation's like on them new houses as well.
No thanks.
All we want is clean fresh air. What do we want?
Shut it down! Yeah, I mean,
When do we want it?
That's the next meeting, eh? We are proud to stand with our community once again. This banner has been in many battles, and we've won many battles for the trade union movement. And today we're here to offer our support. Yes. The miners united will never be defeated. The miners united will never be defeated. Staffordshire is well renowned for mining and also for social history with the trade union movement. The miners of Silverhill Quarry were involved in lots and lots of battles against the government and against this Tory government especially. This Tory government destroyed our coal mines. This government's now destroying our village. Enough's enough. Stop the stink! 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 This miners' banner has been in very many disputes with lots of governments and also against the police. We know that you have unlawfully arrested under the Trade Union Act 241 Section D. All charges discontinued. And we've still got this shithole. We've still got Stop the Stink. We're still campaigning. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we're about. This is what our community's about. We're ex-miners. We're miners' daughters. We're miners' granddaughters. We're miners' children.
I'm a miner's daughter. I'm proud to be a miner's daughter. I stand with the miners.
You're not intending on using the trade union legislation today again, are you, sir?
I personally no.
If there's any powers to be used today, will it be the Trade Union Act?
Well, that's not going to be my decision, is it? There's a command structure in place.
You don't all we want is clean
I'm here
fresh
purely to engage with the protesters, not to make those decisions as command structure. for them.
Well, you're a part of Staffordshire Police, and one of your colleagues has already mentioned that if there is arrest to be made, it will be the same legislation that the gentleman's just quoted.
Well, I can't speak for my colleague.
Shall we go and speak to him then, together?
If you want to go speak to my colleague, you can do. I'm here to engage with the protesters.
Yes, yes.
I'll get to him before you do.
Yeah, you can go to him, that's fine.
So we've just mentioned the trade union.
Say again, sorry, I can't hear you.
It's just mentioned that trade union legislation again.
Who has?
Oh, he's asking if I intend to use 241 of the Trade Union Act. I said I personally know, and there's command structure in place to make that decision.
But knowing what he's just said then, would you agree that it would be irresponsible to mention it to the protesters that it may be used?
It's not irresponsible, is it?
Well, he's saying it's not, the decision's not been made. You're saying that's what we intend to use.
Yeah, but no one's been arrested at the moment, and no one's been warned of arrest.
My question was, do you intend to use that power today?
Well, I'm
So-
going to get involved
It's
in an
one of
interview,
many
aren't I?
options, isn't it? It's one of many options that could be used, and that's why we mention it. Because obviously we're just in the part of our engagement with members of the community here. We say yes, we're here to facilitate a peaceful process. However, if lines are crossed, then certain legislation can be used, certain legislation can't be used. And it's just outlining that from the outset, so there's no surprises. I think we gain more trust by that openness and honesty, and that's where we're going with it.
But the statement that's been made over there was, this has been,
for the people.
no, this has been used against us in the past,
Yeah.
and we've won.
Yeah.
So why would you go down that road again? Surely that's a waste of a taxpayer's money.
Many times people are arrested for offences and then they go to court and they're found not guilty, don't they? Not just with protests in general. So, for argument's sake, if someone got off a burglary, doesn't mean we won't arrest anyone ever again for burglary, does it? It's all dependent on
But-
circumstances of what's happening at the time.
But no circumstances are going to be different in this case. It's going to be exactly the same circumstances. So why would the same...
As it stands at the minute, we've got no offences being committed. Everyone's been good-natured. It's very peaceful. Everyone's getting on, and that's how we want it to remain.
But by you mentioning that same legislation,
Yeah.
you know that they're only going to go over there and block the entrance and stop people coming in and out. There's going to be no threats, no aggression, and no breach of the peace. So on those basis, why would you even mention something that's failed before? Because you failed to prosecute that act, yeah? That legislation, the trade union.
I don't know the ins and outs of the success rate in court. I don't know. If people are telling you that, then they're telling you that.
But why would you even go down that road when you know it's not going to be successful?
Well, it depends what's happening. No one's saying that we are going to go down that route, are they?
Because I think we can eliminate that because it's been unsuccessful. And you can eliminate obstruction of the public highway because it's not, and you can eliminate breach of the peace. So what else have you got?
Well, we don't need to use any legislation at the minute, do we?
No, hopefully not, because
That's how we want it to remain.
but then vehicles are going to be backed up again, aren't they? So
Right, not at the minute, not.
no, they are going to be. That's the end result. That's what we all don't want.
No, none of us want that.
So they just need to stop coming, don't they?
What do?
The vehicles.
That's out of my jurisdiction, isn't it?
Well, communications. Protesters are here. Please don't come today.
That's for decisions made higher above me.
Rather than tackling the protesters, you need to tackle the source of the problem.
I'm going to get me begging now, on again.
Again, that's above my head, isn't it?
I got a little box here as well, guys.
But
If any of you want
the obvious solution, like I've just stated to you,
that we send it to the
is common sense approach, whereas yours is to mention all this legislation, which has been unsuccessful in the past, to sort of scare them off.
That's your interpretation of it. My interpretation of mentioning it is
For the engagement.
Yeah, and we've been open and honest. So there's no surprises. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
I won't even be mentioning something that I know is going to be unsuccessful in court.
Okay, listen, we're not going to agree on it, are we? I haven't got time to argue.
Come on,
all the time.
you've got time.
I know you love an argument with me, but in a minute I'm going to go speak to other members of the public, alright?
Alright, mate.
I'll tell you the system, right? I was arrested back in August, right? See this curb here, on the corner? I was stood there, spoke to a sergeant, I said, can I stand there? Yeah, you can stand there, yeah, no worries. They come in, they do the sweep, I get lifted. 13 hours I was out for, right? They arrested me for willful obstruction of the highway. I wasn't on the highway.
You wasn't, no. And this was my argument last time.
They then tried to get me, as you've just been discussing with the officer, Section 241, Trade Union and Labour Relations Act. All well and good, until I said, but the first arrest isn't legal. Anyway, it went on and on and on. 3 months later, I got a full written apology from Staffordshire Police.
Yeah. Did you get any financial compensation?
I didn't, no. I should have. I should have pursued it.
If you get an apology, that's them saying, please don't put a civil claim in.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, a lot of us were nicked that day. Joe was nicked down there with his cold union banner. And they're all thrown out. They're all thrown out. It was massive expense.
Yeah.
Just why?
So where is the public interest in all this public resource and money by paying all these wages? Why? What do the members of the public gain from these being here?
Nothing. And I'd love to know as to why the tactics have changed so quickly.
Yeah. They're protecting this place.
Yes. Well, the police in a private firm.
Yeah.
And that's obviously against everything, but also, police constables taken a vow to uphold the office of police constable and keep the public safe. How is this keeping the public safe?
Yeah, exactly.
It isn't.
No, it's not. It's allowing this corrupt organisation to continue.
Yeah.
And this security guard over there has got the easiest job in the world because we're paying these guys to do his job for him. He doesn't even have to worry about us stepping on there because these guys, I stepped on there last week, well, whenever it was, to tell the road sweeper to stop spraying us with his water because he was getting too close. This guy didn't have to step in because these stepped in straight away. Oi, get off there, get off there.
Yeah.
Well, why is it left to me to tell the sweeper not to spray us?
Yeah.
Why aren't you protecting me from him?
I mean, the thing is, if you look around today, it's not, the phrase protest is coined, especially by the local press and whatnot, and even the police. But, yeah, they are protesters, but above all else, they're just desperate people.
Yeah.
And threatening them isn't going to do anything. They're just going to create warring factions.
Yeah.
And it's not going to end happily. Protest, I'm not implying anything, but traditionally, when stuff like this boils over, it boils over.
Yeah.
People are just desperate and they've had enough. I mean, look at it.
When you're doing a legal activity like you was on that day by standing on that curb, even being told that it was okay to do so,
Yes.
if you was filming that,
Yes, I was.
you was filming it, I would still put a civil claim in then.
I will.
Because the chief constable has to open his wallet, and that's when it really hurts them. That's when they start making changes.
The Section 241. I know there's a famous case about that in the protesters in Sheffield with the trees, and that got thrown out because it's not what the legislation was designed to do. You can't retrofit a law.
Oh, at least this one's had a wash. They're still not getting all the dirt off though, are they?
No. Have you seen how overloaded they are when they arrive sometimes?
No, I need
Keep an eye
to.
out for that.
Right.
Telling PJ, the guy that you were talking to, that's on the video, the elderly guy that's in the chair, please move aside.
Nello.
It is Nello.
Well, I didn't know at the time.
I didn't know who he was, so I watched the film and I'm like, oh my god, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew he was famous for something, but I didn't realise just how famous he was.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we need to tell you so you can highlight that.
Yeah. I saw the police giving him more time than most, and he was mentioning how he's met previous chief constables.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that, so I knew he was.
Loads of people.
Yeah.
Have you watched the film?
No.
It's called Marvellous.
Yeah.
Watch it. I watched it the other day. It was fine. It's amazing.
No, I knew the last ball.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And I got on evermore.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems really nice, doesn't he?
Because my cousin used to be a
Oh, did he? Well, for handling.
He was in Stafford,
Yeah.
handling Newcastle.
All right.
He was chief doctor.
And then I was like, you shouldn't have known just how many people he knows, because I'd have been like,
Trips where they've been washing.
Yeah.
saves him in a little boot with their autograph and a picture.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Oh, the old
loads,
shampoo,
loads.
yeah.
Gary Lineker's got Gary Lineker's number in his phone.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's what we were charged under, which is the Trades and Labour Relations Act 1985 or 86. That was after the miners' strike.
So would you agree it's this one here?
Besetting.
Watches or besets the house.
Correct. That's the
Right.
one.
I'm just going to read it out. So Joe, previously you was done for Section 241 of the Trade Union and Labour Relations Act, Section D, which reads, watches or besets the house or another place where that person resides, works, carries on business or happens to be, or the approach to any such house or place. So which part of that then was you accused of?
The Section D, besetting a property, but
So
we argued the case that the Section D didn't apply to us because it was a civil offence.
watches or besets?
Yes.
Tell me what's besets.
Besets is where you sit outside somebody's front door and then we're going down to intimidation then. That's where the police said we were sat in front of somebody's house. That's what that says. They shouldn't be using that law. That law is specific for trade union action. We've been on trade union actions previously, and this isn't a trade union act. This is an act from the community itself. So they use the law, an old law, just to remove us from the site. We got arrested and we got charged under 241, Section D. We were then taken to court, which then, because we put in a request of all the people who was besetted, or any company which had got a financial loss, let us know. So from then on, they then discontinued all the action.
Does this act only apply then if you're giving this company a financial loss?
This is what we were saying. So what we were saying, what is the financial loss? Prove it's a financial loss. If it is a financial loss, it then needs to go to the civil court and not the criminal court.
Because this legislation mentions nothing about financial loss. It simply says that if you sit near a house or a business or the approach, so that means when I'm outside a business filming, then I'm watching, because it's watching or be sitting.
Correct.
So when I'm standing outside somewhere watching the place filming, so I can be done for the same legislation, can I?
You could. This is why they try to use this law. It's an old law, what they try to use on all the other protests up and down the country.
Could you give me an example of where this legislation is supposed to be used?
It's supposed to be used on a trade union action where they've got a strike going on, where they've taken the appropriate ballots and so forth for the trade union members, and then they take action.
Okay, so
that law then comes into the trade union, because it's trade unions, Trades and Labour Relations Act.
So would you agree then that it should only be used when the employees of the business that the premises relate to are involved? So if the people blocking sitting, in this case sitting, if the people sitting are involved in the business, employed or ex-employees, then that act would be relevant.
Correct.
But because we're just members of the public, doing a protest, they should never have used that.
Correct. They just try to use it to intimidate us, because that's the only law what they try to use. The other law what they threaten us is with, obviously, the obstruction of the highway, and we continue to say it's the Ziegler ruling what we continue to use, because under the article, the Human Rights Act, Article 10 and Article 11, the freedom to express and also the freedom to assemble.
Yeah.
That is a human right written into the European law, which is then consigned to the United Nations rights of United Nations human rights.
Yep.
So we've got protection.
Yep, that's it.
And if the police continue to take our freedom away, what country we were living in.
Yeah, and that would also be thrown out because it's a private property driveway.
Correct.
I know it's a public easement. It is actually publicly accessible, and you can cross the road there. So, but they can't do you for obstruction of a highway because the vehicles are choosing to stop.
Correct.
You're not forcing them to stop.
Correct.
So
that's what we've argued all the time.
So-
We're not causing obstruction.
we're slowly getting down the list of what they could use
Yes.
and eliminating it. Now,
Yes.
the fact that I've heard one of these police liaison guys today say that they may use the Trade Union Act
Yeah,
again.
241.
Now, that would be a complete waste of taxpayers' money
Yeah.
and be not in the public interest at all. Because
It must have cost, for there were 6 defendants under the Trade Union 241 Act. Each one of those must have cost at least £10,000 just to produce at the
Yeah.
magistrates' court.
Yeah.
Plus we all had legal representation, another £10,000 each. That's
Yeah.
we're talking up to 60,000.
yeah,
You're talking in the region of £150,000 of taxpayers' money
yeah. So
just to keep a business.
Yeah,
and
which
the
I-
action came was ordered by Ben Adams, who is the Police and Crime Commissioner for North Staffordshire. He's the guy who orders and also pays for all these operations. So he must have known that that type of operation must have said yes or no.
Yeah.
So he was the guy at the top saying that's the action what needs to be taken.
yeah,
We say it was totally uncalled for, heavy-handed, and also the arrests were unlawful because we do have that right to protest.
Yeah.
We have the right to fresh air.
yeah,
We have the right to breathe.
yeah.
We have the right to live. The children of our community are being poisoned on a daily basis.
Yeah.
This week has been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, the smell right now, I can vouch for that. Which leaves only one last thing that they could possibly use, which is breach of the peace. And as long as we're showing no threat of violence, no aggression, causing anybody any alarm or distress, they can't use it. So I don't actually believe they've got any powers.
We had the MP come this morning.
I saw him on his Facebook Live.
And he came just to gaslight us.
A PR stunt.
Correct.
And then he says, I've got to go because I've got to talk to Stoke Radio or something.
I gave him my opinion.
I heard it, the political statement.
And it shouldn't be. That's why any politician who comes along and saying, unfortunately, at the moment, you've done nothing. You've tried your best.
Yep.
And now the only action we've got left now is take direct action.
Yeah.
And this is what the community are saying, enough is enough.
And whilst you are making your direct action, you've got protesters crossing the road with the lorries approaching at speed. Now the lady I've spoke to the lady in question, she was so shaken up by it, she went straight to one of the constables on scene and reported it, and he says, oh, you just have to bring it through to 101. Well, that's not giving an example of them working for us to protect us.
We've had this all the time.
That was an offence.
We've told the police about other offences.
Yeah, well, the public now have the right of way on the carriageway.
Yes,
Vehicles must stop, and on that occasion, it clearly didn't. So why was it ignored by the constable? So we are here to highlight the corruption. So we are on your side, and yeah, we'll resume that later on, Joe. Thank you very much, mate. That's brilliant. You got a guy there with his roof down. Why would you want to have a soft top with your roof down, going past the landfill? Not for me.
Not interested. And like I say, I've done all the background, I've listened, and the passion now that these are, it's unreal. I wouldn't be here today, I don't want to be here today.
We rely on the regulators and those in power to protect us from this. And at least the minimum they can do is when there's this tiny offence happening, show us that you're on our side. That would be great public relations.
I was here once and I saw a driver spraying substance.
Yeah, air freshener, it's all on road.
Yeah.
Even spat on Angie's face.
I actually
Last week,
stepped
one of the
in.
drivers called him a fat slag in front of the officers, and guess what was done? Nothing.
There you go.
Honestly, ask him.
That was another perfect opportunity for them to show whose side. Yeah, of course, yeah.
What that protester said to you when you got it on camera? Remember when what did you list? This is their own words.
Did somebody call you an offensive term?
Yes. All the time. It was a driver. No, I'm just telling them when it was in front of an officer and nothing was done.
Because this would be the second time then that an officer has seen as offence being committed against protesters and done nothing.
No, what they read the RG for that, they read for They aren't here for arrest them and do that. They're here for us to arrest. That's why they don't do that.
Oh yeah, last time I was here, they got called the protest removal team. Well, that's not what we're paying them to do, is it? So we want to see examples of them sticking up for us, not blocking us.
We won't get that.
This is what Joe was saying, but we don't get that. It's all one side.
Yeah.
After we'd done some protests, there was police, for a few days, just guarding the gates.
Yeah.
And nobody was here.
And nobody was here.
Well, they employ security to do that.
Wagons were parked all down there and all up there, and they still didn't do nothing. And
So
then,
we're paying to protect the place
and
now.
then one come off with a ball tie, and one of the protesters told him, and they just turned a blind eye.
What do we pay our taxes for?
Well, if you could have a ball tie,
Yeah.
What exactly do we pay
ball
taxes?
tie, they'd pull you over.
They'll pull me up, yeah. The full force of the law. They're probably looking for my car while I'm winding them up.
I said, and what's that one when you was at the bakery? That was all right. I thought, come on.
My mate Steve. Calm down, Steve.
Oh, was that your mate? I thought that was you.
No, it weren't my mate. Everyone I meet, I try and leave on good terms with them. I try. There's no hard feelings, Steve, all right? Don't let it ruin your day, because I don't want to get in people's heads.
He's the best one on that lorry that's broke down now. He was one angry guy, wasn't he?
Which one's that?
On the lorry that's broken down on the concrete mixing.
Oh, when it tipped over.
Oh, he was angry.
Yeah.
He was.
Do you know what? He's from around here somewhere. Yeah. I was on my way to a DIY SOS project in Feg Hayes,
Oh, yeah.
and I come across that concrete lorry. Is Feg Hayes far from here?
It's not hard.
Because I knew the BBC wouldn't want me filming there before it broadcasts on their channel, so I knew it would wind them up a bit, you know.
5 miles to me.
Yeah, but on the way there, I met that lorry that tipped over, and I was live on my Facebook. I was like that, and then it comes over and it starts going, "I'm going to smash your face in," and all this stuff. Yeah. And then instantly the viewers started leaving him bad reviews on his business page, and I'm like, mate, if I try and edit stuff out so it don't damage their own business or personal, if he says the name and address on live stream, you can't help it, can you? And he's threatened me on camera. Instantly people were hammering his business online. And oh, well, you've done it yourself here.
Me and Lewis did a binge watch.
Oh, we do.
I was doing it.
I tell you the one with the security guard, the security fan. When you was watching it, and then the 2 cop cars pulled up.
Look how quick they came again, just to protect the corporations. I literally couldn't get to the end of the road.
I know.
Yeah. Another one was trying to block me off down there, and another one comes up here.
And then you had that one over the necklace, because he had his necklace on show, and the other one didn't know.
Yeah.
He went down to his dress code, and the other copper said, I don't know, I'll have to look into this. And he's telling him, the law, he said, oh, I don't know, I'll have to look into this.
Yeah, well,
Well, we know the laws.
it's like with ponytails and stuff. You can't give an easy object to grab hold of, because as they're fighting, they'll win if they've got your ponytail or your jewellery. They'll strangle you, won't they? Or rip it off.
Man, that was good here with the drone. Just like the land this drone, we'll have this. Nobody can't take it. Nobody can't take it.
Yeah. Well, I was only landing it because the battery was about to go, but I didn't want him believing it's because of him.
Yeah.
So I goes, no.
And then you went, well, it's going back up again.
Let's go back up in a minute.
You just like winding them up, don't you?
Because they've got no right to tell me I can't do it, because I know I can.
Yeah, you know, you won't.
Yeah.
That's a bit like Joe. You don't suppose, you know what I mean? Well, you're right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to do it. I just thought we was respecting the funeral and stuff, aren't we?
We're wrapping up now.
So you got Dave with you, have you?
Got what, sorry?
Dave with you.
Yeah. Oh, David, you know his name.
I told him about what, didn't you? I said, hey, look, you've got Dave.
You're a hardcore fan then, aren't you, if you know all that?
Ah, yes. Yeah. I go right back.
Have you? Thank you. I thought the numbers were going up.
Hopefully you'll be in there a while. The other night I missed my son's when I was watching him.
You're joking? Oh no!
I thought I'd kill you, DJ.
I love when you say to him, I'm just going to take the drone up to have a look, just so you know. So see, I love the like. Your videos are just about people's reactions, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like
Overreact.
Ace, and some are just completely nonce, and like, and it's like the thing. I like Bakery. I used to work on there.
Did you?
Yeah. I was quality assurance
Really?
administrator on there. It was amazing. I loved it. Absolutely loved that place. But I don't understand why that bloke just went all like he did. You know what I mean? Got nothing hide.
I'm here to take some footage of trucks. Yeah, let's just say trucks. Is this the only entrance, Steve? What are you doing? It said it's called spoofing. Spoofing. Oh, that was the other guy, casing the joint.
That made me laugh. Casing the joint. Yeah, mate, because I'm gangster.
Really? For what? Trade union thing?
Yeah, that's why I decided to put tattoo on me.
Oh wow, look at that.
I actually got the 246 instead of 241. I don't want.
Yeah, I just googled it. It comes up as 246 as default.
I had 8 police jump on me.
8?
8 police. It's on YouTube. The statements at the time said they got all the dash cams, all the captures. So I wanted to see them. The solicitor showed me, and they said I was outside the entrance. Well, I was nowhere near the entrance. In fact, I was more away from the exit than the entrance. And the 2 police, because when they turned up, 54 police turned up.
How many?
54 police. When we were at the protest there. And they were each 2 police officers were from a different region. Now my little boy was a bit younger and we were scared in case, like, we don't know if they've got COVID, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were touching me. They got masks on, but they didn't have gloves on. You know what I mean? They damaged my property, broke my phone. They said I was resisting arrest when you can clearly see on the video that wasn't I wasn't doing anything, causing any trouble. It was just the way they knocked me down and scummed me when I got to the floor.
And did it get to court?
Yeah, I went to court.
So they took it all the way to court?
About 2 days before, the first time, because I went and there was 2 other people that got arrested after, they tried to set me as an example, as a 2-day ruling instead of a 1. So I went the first one and they said, give me another date, come back, and then it got dropped. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, and you, my friend, and you.
Can you remember me last time?
I can, yeah.
Panther outfit.
Yeah, I can remember. You had quite a few comments with that.
Did I?
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at the comments, I haven't had time yet, but
yeah, I know.
I will do.
Yeah.
I've got my phone, I lost my phone drunk the other day.
Oh, did you? I've done that before. But yeah, was the Pink Panther outfit just to say, like, for the passers-by to be recognised?
Yeah, to be noticed.
Is there anything deeper thought of the Pink Panther, or was it just the costume you had?
Does it what, sorry?
Was it just the costume you just so had at the time, or did you purposely get it?
No, I didn't purposely get it. I wanted to be noticed.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and it does that.
And like I say, there's many more that have worn, some wore the Marshall one the time before that.
Yeah, I saw it.
But yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's not just me, there's other people that suffer a lot worse than me.
Yeah.
They damaged my wrist as well. You see my bone on my wrist. That's what they did to me when they put handcuffs on me. But the way they knocked me down, if you look at the video, you can see.
Did you go down the road of a civil claim to compensation?
It's not about that at the end of the day. It's about,
I
mean, I want my phone fixed.
Well, you need money to fix your phone, won't you?
You can clearly see the officer taking it out of the pocket and throwing it in the back of the right one. But by then, one of them had already trod on it in my pocket where he kneed me like that as he got me down.
Did you have that on camera?
It's all on camera.
Well, I will be using this conversation in the video. What would you like me to do with the child? Do you want to blow his face out, or
no?
Leave it in.
Okay. He's my little saviour. He is.
Okay, so you give me permission to leave the child in.
Of course I do.
Okay, thank you.
As well as me. We don't mind, do we, son?
So now the funeral is over. The decision's been made to now sit down in the entrance like before. Got no deck chairs this time. We're just going straight onto the floor. And this is where the disruption starts. We've not seen many vehicles come in or out, but when they do try and come in or out now, they will be blocked. So this is where the fun starts.
There's quite a few police around the corner.
All right, which corner?
All waiting for it to kick off. Well, you know where we parked the car down there?
They're all around there?
A few cars in the car park. But I've just been told that there's quite a few police around there waiting for it all to kick off.
Right, okay.
She's got a big horn, hasn't she?
Stop this thing! Stop this thing! Welcome to the dark side! Who let the dog out? Who let the dog out?
That's it.
Red let the dog
We're
out!
basically lots of people who are actually allergic to air fresh everything. Right on the top of the Argentine.
Archie, the professional process removal team! Stop this thing! 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 Come forward!
We want to be fresh air!
I don't care! He don't care! All we want is free fresh air!
No pushing on! No pushing on! No pushing on! No pushing on! No pushing on!
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved just like a tree that's standing by the waterside. We shall not be moved.
I'm going to press the live button on Facebook just to see how many people join it.
That's an angle.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, guys, show us your own.
So here we have the first vehicle of the day. He's trying to exit the landfill. This is the only entrance and exit that they have here, and he is clearly now blocked. This is the first vehicle of the day that has been blocked by the protesters, and previously the police that are behind me over there, the police have used powers against these protesters in the past. Now here they come. This is the first time we've seen the police engage with the protesters since a vehicle has been blocked. Now let's see, how are they going to tackle this issue?
Oh, when the police come marching in, we wanna be in that number. Oh, when the police come marching in.
So here we go, the protesters are being very loud, very vocal about this topic. The stink, they call it hashtag stop the stink. I have done a couple of videos on this issue recently, and we got invited back down because the exposure was great. And they tell me today they are not going to move. So the police liaison team have just maybe given their first warning to the protesters. Last time they had an inspector on scene giving the orders out. The highest rank I can see so far is the sergeant. There is no inspector on the scene at the moment. This guy here, 5287, he's shown signs of being very rude earlier, which you'll see on the main video. My friend, how long you got? What time do you knock off?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, stay there, £25 an hour, stay there.
You're getting paid £25 an hour? So you actually want us to continue, do you?
Do you understand the course? That's right, yeah. But you understand what the ultimate consequences could be?
Yeah, we get arrested.
No, it's just because obviously myself and this young lady have had this conversation about 5 or 6 times.
At the moment, I'm creating criminal trespass.
You could be. You could be committing offences.
What offences?
Yes, I love that question. Go on!
I'm at a peaceful protest, I'm not causing any crap, so what offences should I be arrested?
Well, we're disrupting this workplace, aren't we, in a minute? You're preventing it.
He's disrupting our lives,
Simon, you agreed that's what you just said.
Can we just come up with it?
Simon's being asked, what offence are we committing? And that is a brilliant question. So far he said, you're obstructing a workplace. Well, I'm sorry, but that is not against the law. So come on, Simon, let's hear it.
Potential criminal investigation.
Yeah, so the question remains, what offence?
Specifically tells us that what we're doing is preventing illegal business from operating, but they are not operating legally.
Correct.
So, you know, we're not committing any offences.
And so far, the threat of arrest hasn't been warranted because he's not told you what offence you're committing. So
these people aren't moving.
No one's moving, are they?
We walk through this morning at 3 a.m. My kids will wake up with nosebleeds and I'll wake up with a migraine.
Yeah, and that's a daily occurrence for you, isn't it? So the children wake up with nosebleeds, the parents wake up with migraines, and that's all because they live so close to this landfill, and they have done for so long. Now they've decided enough's enough, we're going to block the entrance. And any landfill vehicles that want to come in, like this one here we have the first vehicle. This will be full of waste. Coming every day, bringing all this toxic waste into this landfill. Now look at the registration, you can hardly read it. The filthy vehicles filled to the brim with toxic, oh look, oh wow, I've never seen that before. He is actually forcing the protesters out the way. Now what will the police do on this instance? This will be very interesting to see.
Is that illegal?
I cannot believe he's just even attempted to do that, trying to force the protesters out the way. Now the recent changes in the highway code say pedestrians have the right of way, so I'm very interested in what the police are going to do about this.
I'll run over you.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll run over who?
No, you won't.
I will get you in as soon as I can, alright?
Do not threaten to run over the members of the public.
Break your face.
Go on then, let's see it then, let's see it. I want to put on a complaint about breach of the peace. Section 5. No, we're not.
You're not stood on the road then, you break. You're not.
Pedestrians have right of way. You do not force pedestrians. Yes, they do. Get out of here. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Look, he thinks he's big, opening his door, threatening violence. Yeah, you was.
Put your window
Take your rubbish out.
It's talking to you.
You, who are you trying to run into? Yeah, right.
Take it back.
You know shit that poisoning my kids, I'm sorry.
Just bear with me, alright?
Not continue, come from around here, always using the incinerator, mate. Come here, 20 minutes. We're fighting our civil rights and human rights, mate.
Just to stand here, or you can.
I'm a taxpayer as well, thank you.
You're committing an offence, not us.
I've got a full-time job, thank you. And most of the people here as well.
Just pop up, just get you in as quick.
You're going to be...
There you go. He's been denied access into the landfill, although he tried to force his way in. The police have simply redirected him. The police are saying thank you to the driver who has just committed an offence. 5287, you are a disgrace. 5287, Staffordshire Police. We saw him earlier behave very unprofessionally when I was questioning him about another traffic offence. He does not want to stick up for the members of the public. He simply wants to protect this quarry and allow their business to continue. So right now we've got the vehicle that showed aggression towards the protesters down there, being assisted by 2 PCs. and the pressure really is on now, isn't it? Well, it started to build, and these guys are like, right, we need to get them moved. We need to allow this business to continue. So they're thinking, what can we do next? What should we do? What should we do? So let's see.